Let's figure out the light, and they might trip when they come over here. I don't know what's up. Doesn't matter.
Well, I was all in the stream. I was black, and I'm doing sound check. I'm doing lighting check. I'm doing all this stuff live and direct. Let me bring Wes in here, so I don't look too crazy, or he can share my craziness. What up, bro?
What's going on, man?
Nah, I was a little discombobulated just now. I didn't realize I had it live. I was up in the screen live. Usually, I start out backstage, let it run for a little bit before I, project an image. But here we are.
Live and direct, brother.
We live and direct, brother. Yeah, man, we have a phenomenal show lined up today. We have coming back on Brevin Knight, former NBA great, point guard for Memphis Grizzlies, Atlanta Hawks, Utah Jazz, and a slew of other teams, Cleveland.
AKA Last Word. He had his brother on last week, so he got to get that last word.
Last word, AKA. Well, see, the plan was to have them both on at the same time. That was even, and Brandon was scheduled, but then something came up. He couldn't move around, so we're gonna bring him in next week.
Yep.
But that was, it was crazy because we had Brandon on. Brevin has hit me with I gotta forward you these text messages he sent me. He's sending me stats. He's putting everything in context. But then when I actually spoke to him, he actually, brought more clarity to the situation and bigged up his brother and his team and the whole 9 yards. So it's all love, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get it twisted with the Knight family, brothers. But it would have been dope to have them both on so we can get into this NBA Finals. We're waiting for Brevin to enter into the room. So in the meantime, in between time, you know how we do, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna put up a song. We're gonna start to share the stream, the feed, let people know what we're doing, and we're gonna get it cracking. But let me not forget, our second guest is Mumu Ben WAHAD, who is he's a freshman defensive back for West Virginia University. He's family. His father, Daruba Ben WAHAD, is a mentor of mine and TJ, and actually Brevin and Brandon both brought Daruba up in our conversation, which is how important Daruba's life story is to me and TJ. So to have his son, our nephew, really doing his thing, and we should expect some big things from him. To have him on the show to talk about his upcoming football career is going to be awesome. So that's what we got lined up for today's Madism. And that said, let's get it cracking.
Let's do it.
Social distancing and other mitigation measures they've put in place. The president's been itching to begin easing the nationwide guidelines meant to stem the outbreak and contain the economic fallout. Well, the weekly jobless numbers are out, and they are a staggering show of the early impact of the new coronavirus on the economy. Around 3.3 million people filed for unemployment in the past week, far exceeding the previous record from 1982.
This goes out
that I will use my right for the right
all my smoke, my dabbles,
I believe that I'll choose
my
this fight for the right to be free.
Set up that
I believe I'll treat tonight like it's 420.
Madism in effect, hip-hop changed the game. Everybody smoke good, my grower changed the strain. I used to smoke for the thrill, now I do it for the pain. I stay pushing weight, I do it for the gains. It's like a revolution, Prince with purple rain. Purple kush, purple haze, light cheese in the maze. So I put lights in the tunnel, LEDs supply the rays. All we do is spark Madism, that shit is all the rage. Remember back in the days, trade bags of haze from the corner bodega. Poppy put it in some lays. It was rhymes in a cipher with blunts in the air. Then off with a shorty, couch locked in a chair. My shorty look exotic, weed kinda rare. She said the weed was erotic with smoke in the hair. Isn't makes the time go by, life without a care. So roll it up, light it up, put it in the air.
I believe in happy faces, yes, this is true. Love is just for special people, yes, just like you. If you're reaching for the stars, you know you can do
Johnny Blaze. I get pounds from Sugar Hill, I get dimes from Sugar Rays. I keep the aromatic, it's a passion, not a habit. Akeem go with green, it's like carrots go with rabbits. It's so automatic how the weed gets lit. Duplicate the seed, clones get clipped. Hawk, what you puffin' on? I know that ain't the piff. Wedding cake and gelato, huh? Wanna lit? I got flavors, pump flavors, they call me Flavor Flav. Gorilla Glue #4 and Super Haze. Afghani in the cough, sour diesel gets me off. I'm looking for a rental property, something like a loft, so I can grow these trees just in time for Christmas. Saint Nick with the gift list. I know you wanna hit this. Look for madism when it's time to light a flare. Then roll it up, light it up, put it in the air.
I believe in happy faces, yes, this is true. Love is just for special people, yes, just like you. If you're reaching for the stars, you know you can do anything you want to if you just get into the groove. I believe that I will use my right for the right to be me. I believe that I'll choose this fight for the right to be free. I believe I'll treat tonight like it's 420, like it's 420.
Chill.
Yes, this is true.
What really stands out to many are the one-time direct payments from the government. The Trump administration says they hope to start rolling them out in 3 weeks. The payments are based on your latest tax filing. Individuals who earn $75,000 or less will get $1,200.
Yeah, that's how we doing it. That's I Believe, Put in the Air by Hakeem Green featuring Carl Thomas, produced by DJ Heron, video by myself and Shock B. Big shout out to everybody involved in that. Yeah, so IZM Sports. What's up, Wes?
Not much, man. Not much.
Yeah, before we get started, we're still waiting for our guests to enter the building. Let me put out a call. Hey, Jazz. Want to share? How old is your daughter, Wes?
9.
She's 9. That's right. Get it right, boy. Get it right.
She will be 10. She'll be 10 very soon.
Yeah, I want her to meet my niece.
Okay.
Man, I want to meet my niece, Layla. And
Is she in the building?
She in the building.
Oh, I got because mine is out there.
Hooping, see?
Yeah.
Now, Layla's a hooper too.
Okay.
Yeah, her dad has her, training. They've been working out. And this is my friend Wes, Mr. Henderson, and his daughter. What's your daughter's name?
Sarai.
Sarai, thank you. Is a basketball player too. So why don't you slide up in here and say hi, Mr. Henderson.
Hi, Mr. Henderson.
Hi, Layla. How are you?
She said, how are you? Hold on, let me put this on you.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Now you can hear you.
I'm gonna get mine right now. She can come in. She just walked in the door.
So yeah, his daughter Sarai is she's a basketball player. She's actually practicing right now. Come here. And this is Noah, Wes.
What's up, Noah? There's Sarai right there.
Hi.
That's Layla,
That's
that's Noah.
She's 9, soon to be 10. And she's a basketball player. That's Layla. She's a basketball player too.
How you doing, Noah?
Sure, Noah. Wait, I
You
can't
me.
hear.
Okay.
Wait a second.
How you doing, Noah?
I'm doing fine.
Good. That's excellent.
Hold on, you gotta get the camera so you can see. Hold on, get the camera. There you
You
go.
are? Okay.
There you go.
This is Sarai behind me.
Hi.
And how old are you?
7.
You're 7. Okay. Okay, cool. Sarai's 9. You said Layla's 9 too?
No, she's 8.
8.
8. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine is just
Wow.
walking away. That's
Okay.
that's
So
your niece
we'll
and
get this
nephew?
moving.
That's your niece and nephew? Oh yeah. I was asking you, that's your niece and nephew.
Yeah, my niece and nephew, exactly.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
man.
Awesome.
Bye. See you guys. Thanks for coming on. So yeah, I when I was setting up the studio, my niece saw me pull out the green screen.
Yeah.
She said, "Oh, green screen." What you know about a green screen?
Bye.
Bye. Get them.
Yeah.
Get those jumpers. 100 free throws. No, that's dope, man. It's awesome, man. So yes, first time in a few years I've been able to catch up with them.
Okay.
So it's a wonderful thing.
Absolutely.
It's a wonderful thing. Yeah, man. So, man, Milwaukee Bucks, NBA champions, huh?
Giannis was taking names. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. Calling cats out.
Man, that was dope. That was dope. That was dope to see Milwaukee.
He
Giannis
came out like, yo, they're a small market, and he was like, yo, I did it my way.
Yeah, that is the talk. He didn't abandon ship.
He did it his way.
He didn't go join over. He didn't try to join another squad. He didn't want to get down with a bunch of other superstars.
And he ain't trying to be nobody's friend either right now. He's
No.
He calling them. He letting them know. That's it. Put everybody on notice.
He putting everybody on notice.
Yeah, that's basically what he is doing.
Yes, it sounds good.
You know what's good about it though? For me personally, I think that Giannis is the type of superstar that and they got the type of team, those the guys that won, they're not gonna be fat and happy. They're gonna be, once you win, it teaches you how to win, and you know what to do. And especially when you teach a player like Giannis how to win, he's a rare breed. And the closer he got to that championship, as you saw what he did when he was close to the finish line, it was no denying him. 50, 14, and 5 blocks. Yeah. That's what dogs do when they smell prey.
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It.
I mean, you got to give it up to the Milwaukee Bucks. You got to get up to Giannis. You got to get up to Chris Middleton, who showed up in consecutive games. Well,
absolutely.
The last game,
Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday. Put that defense on him.
Listen, you gotta give it to the coach.
And I was about to say, you got to give it to both.
I've been tough on the coach.
Yeah, you got to give it to him because looking at that Milwaukee Bucks team, it's not the normal breed of team in terms of you got Giannis, who's your superstar, right? And you have, Chris Middleton, who's the closer. He's your closer, but Chris Middleton, like, it's still like, they put the bank on Chris Middleton, but up until like that last 3 games, it was like you don't know what Chris Middleton is going to show up. So it's still like,
I still feel like Giannis is the closer. But we tried to put that. The narrative was Chris Middleton is the closer. Giannis made 17 free throws. He closed, and Chris Middleton made big shots. But typically, I think they were just trying. That's a dart. I don't think that he can't close. Chris Middleton did a better job in certain scenarios than Giannis did during the course of the playoffs. But Giannis closed Game 7.
I think we definitely watched Giannis get better.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He picked up some skills that he didn't have coming into the playoffs.
Well, you know what it was? Being hurt helped him. It slowed him down. It made him more conscious of what he could and couldn't do, because he couldn't really Euro step until Game 7. He couldn't really do that move. So I think getting hurt, which people aren't saying, like, the dude was playing on one leg, but he didn't care. He just wanted to get it done. So I think being hurt slowed him down, and that was a good thing for him in terms of his focus. Yeah.
And still, I would love to see him do more with his back to the basket. And it's just amazing because he's won this chip. He's got that out the way. And now, without the pressure of having to win a chip, he can really develop his game out and take chances and risk without thinking in the back of his mind, people are doubting me. With the rest of that squad, though, you have your boy Connaughton, bro.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
what? He showed up. He's catching rebounds, he's grabbing rebounds. He's hitting big shots. He's giving you, he's scrappy plays. He's giving you actually a little bit more than Dellavedova gave the Cleveland Cavaliers when they won it. I think Connaughton,
I wouldn't put him on the Dellavedova. Like, he's not that. I'm not disrespecting him like that.
Right.
He's a better player than Dellavedova. That's a gimmick. That's a gimmick player. I'm just saying in terms of the narrative, how they talked about him, it was like, oh, he's such an impactful player. I mean, you know, and they show his stat line, 1.2 rebounds, and I'm like, listen, can we just ease up on that talk? Like you could I could turn the volume off and tell you what somebody's doing. I don't need the commentary from the analysts at all.
Yeah,
I could watch sports without the volume.
You have PJ Tucker.
Yeah, PJ Tucker, dope.
Yeah,
I mean,
you got.
He's a winner.
Yeah,
he's a champion.
But it's to credit the coach, Budenholzer, Bobby Portis. Now you have a lot of role players playing their role.
Yeah,
and embracing the role.
Yeah.
And happy with the role, not looking to score a whole bunch of points.
Yeah.
But happy playing that scrappy defense or that scrappy offense or that, just cleaning up rebounds and put backs and that's a credit to, I think, the system and their general management team and putting that right squad around Giannis and Chris Middleton. Yeah.
And you get a commitment like that. What that does is now that he's a champion in Milwaukee, those mid-level exemption players go want to come to him. That's what that does. That now that he's won, he's shaking. I mean, to be 26 years old, to have an NBA championship, 2 MVPs and a Finals MVP and an All Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, that's not too shabby at 26.
Nah, that's damn good.
That's
damn good. That's his career. Like for most people, that's a career.
That's a career for people, and he's only 26.
He's not even halfway through his career.
I mean, what could he do in the next 8 years? We don't know. I mean, we're not gonna speculate, but he has the potential to do some big things over the next course. But by the time he's 34,
yeah. No,
I mean, this is the prime years of his career. So, like I said, I just kind of like his mindset, and it's the way he went about it. And and even with his comments, I think, he's gonna have to back it up, obviously, because now he's gonna be hunted. And the reality is they caught some breaks, but they took advantage of the opportunity to be where they are. Yeah,
those breaks. Hey, what's up, Valerie? JT, Kim is in the house. Mike Johnson, I see you. Yeah. So it's like they got some great breaks. Injuries played a huge role in this year's playoff series.
Yep.
All around the league, a lot of big names, a lot of important players were sidelined with injuries or got injured during the game, during this playoffs, and they caught some breaks. They definitely took advantage, like you said.
Yeah.
But next year is going to be different.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be different, but it's something to be said about cats who actually get to win. That's what made Anthony Davis so disappointing this year. Because he won and Kuzma, they won, but they were sitting on last year. And, we grew up when it was the same two teams the next 4 years, because they weren't happy about that. Last year was last year. And I just say that because I think that these guys, I like Middleton, the way they built. I like Drew Holiday. They not Hollywood. But now they winners. So it becomes different for them to navigate through that space now.
Yeah. If you see a team like this after winning the chip, show effort because things are different.
Yeah.
Circumstances are different. Everybody goes through, but you see the effort put in and they're competitive next year. You're not disappointed. Like
Toronto was competitive the year after they won their championship. They didn't have Kawhi no more.
Yeah.
But they were competitive. So they competed. They had a valiant effort of trying to protect their championship, but they just didn't have enough horses. That was the bottom line. And I think that's what you get from the small market teams, that they're gonna come out a little bit more aggressive than the Miami Heats, the Lakers, stuff like that. San Antonio used to come. They were every other year.
Yeah.
They would win, then they would lose. They would win, they would lose. It's hard because you got to get. I mean, you know what Duncan's going to do, but you don't know what those other dudes are going to do.
Yeah, it's funny. We've seen years San Antonio would be an 8th seed in the playoffs and end up in the Western Conference Finals as an 8th seed. Turn it on. And there it is, and everything falls into place. But now, what's up with Phoenix? like let's talk about Phoenix and what they're gonna do, what Chris Paul is gonna do.
Well, I don't know if you paid attention to the end of that game, but I like what I saw from Devin Booker at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Booker stayed on the court. Devin Booker took it all in. Devin Booker's gonna win the championship. I'm just letting you know. Like I'm just going out on the limb. That player right there is going to get a championship.
Okay.
Because he's got all the tools too. And sometimes you got to go through something to get something.
Yeah.
And they're a piece away. I think Chris Paul would be making a big mistake by trying to join LeBron versus staying in Phoenix and getting that piece. Because at the end of the day, it ain't his ring. He looks like Karl Malone, and he looks like Gary Payton, and he looks like Jason Kidd when they got their rings. If he gets it in Phoenix, him and Devin Booker got it together. It's a whole different scenario. So for me, I hope he stays in Phoenix to get his championship, and Phoenix, their management figures a way to get somebody else out there to help those brothers out.
That's deep. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little with Chris Paul because, it's like the same narrative every year. His season ends like the same every year, like
just at a different level.
It's just at a different level, but it's gonna end the same way. And it's unfortunate that 16 years in the league, bro, and you really haven't gotten that chip.
Well, we said, listen, Barkley got to one finals, didn't win it. Patrick got to one finals, didn't win it. Chris Paul is in that category right now. He's got to one finals, didn't win it. Stockton and Malone got to two. They didn't win it. They were close, but they didn't win it. So his legacy to me is not all about the championships, but where they have him in historically needs to be adjusted. Like in terms of being ahead of
the top five, you get the top
fives and all this other stuff. Stockton and Isaiah Thomas are still just Jason Kidd. They still ahead of him. Period. It's just what it is.
It's like we watched this Milwaukee series, and he came out strong. The second game he lit it up. But then he just during the course of the series, you see him look very old, out of place, turnovers, get into situations where he fumbles the ball. Like was that game 5 when he was driving in on Giannis, and he was that game 5 or game 4, and he had the ball ripped from him.
Yeah,
and he fumbled it. It's just like he just looked out of sorts. And, I guess they said COVID from the series before, but that
was old.
That's old. Listen, like, come on, this is Chris Paul.
There's no narrative in terms of excuses for him. Chris Paul is given a title of being that kill guy too, but he does a lot of things that doesn't. The dirty play. That's not. Is something else missing in his game that he needs to fix to get over the hump. Like Giannis smelt the finish line, and Chris Paul is almost afraid of the finish line. Like it started to get too big for Chris Paul.
You went there with it. You went there with it.
I'm just saying. It's part of it. Like I just think that a lot of
like you could see him shrink in the moment.
Yeah, it was getting too big for him. He was getting too close. Like he was the opposite player that he was in the Western Conference Finals. And I think that the Patrick Beverley situation was more of a personal thing for him to nip that in the bud, and it just resulted in a championship appearance. But then he got so close, up 2-0, and even 2-2, and just to play the way he played in a game really 3, 4, and 5 was like
missing in action.
It was just tough. He had a good look in game 5. He played well early, like he got everybody involved, and he kept them close. But overall, I just think that he's got to do some searching too. But he's got to go back to Phoenix because he doesn't want to get that ring in LA, man. I'm telling you, that's not. The LeBron fans will love it, but Chris Paul will just be.
Would they though?
Yeah, they would love it because it gets LeBron another champion. It's a possibility of getting LeBron another champion.
I'm saying, will it?
A possibility.
Yeah,
right? But if they do it, it's not the same as him doing it in Phoenix. It's just not. I mean, shoot, look at Milwaukee. They ain't got one since Oscar and Kareem.
I mean, it's if he goes to LA, he balls out, and he's the reason they win it. Yeah, it means something. If he's tagging along, oh man, we just got some bad. Wait a minute, what's my phone? Hold, let me grab my phone for a second.
Yep, no problem.
I just saw a message go up the screen. I think it's from our guest. I hope not. Said he threw his back out. Somebody threw his back out. Somebody threw it. Yeah, man. Oh, I threw my back out golfing. I'm at this rehab center trying to be able to walk. I didn't have my phone. Yeah, man. Bro, take care of that. Yeah, man. So, we talking about Chris Paul, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just so yeah, him going to
the Lakers.
Him going to the Lakers. Like if he's just along for the ride, then no. He needs to stay. He needs to stay in Phoenix.
He just needs to stay in Phoenix. No matter how we try to slice it up, he's going to be along for the ride.
Yeah,
that's it. He's going to be the third guy on that team. No matter how we try to slice it up, AD and LeBron have already won. That's it. So he's a third wheel. So he needs to stay in Phoenix and get somebody like Devin Booker a championship together.
Well,
they can celebrate together.
Yeah, but I think as it stands right now, Phoenix is a better team than LA.
They have better pieces.
It's LA's all over the place. You don't know what's going to be in LA next year.
Yeah, like
the energy is so scrambled in LA. It's like it's a crapshoot, bro.
We talk about Lonzo Ball coming back.
Yeah, like
they talk
Dame
about
Lillard,
Russell Westbrook. First of all, I'm a Westbrook lover. He does not fit in LA. No. Not even a little bit. Him and LeBron could not play together at all. Mm-hmm. So Westbrook is not going to be satisfied running to the corner and spotting up for threes, which he can't shoot anyway. So and LeBron's not going to be happy when Westbrook is pounding the basketball for 25 seconds. So that's just not a good fit. I just think actually Lonzo Ball might not be bad, but Lonzo Ball you can respect people, but you can't respect them and on the court where you aren't yourself. And I just think that when he played with LeBron, he just look up to LeBron too much, and he's in too much awe to be an effective basketball player on the court with him. He don't want to mess up.
Yeah.
He don't want to mess up for his idol. That's what that problem is.
Yeah.
They need to go after Malcolm Brogdon. That's what they need to go after. That's a good fit.
Now Malcolm Brogdon,
he's in Indiana.
He was in Milwaukee. He was in
Milwaukee. He went to Indiana.
Yeah. You think Brogdon is the answer?
I think he plays defense. He can create his own shot. He shoots the three better than Russell Westbrook, and he wouldn't mind the fact that he can shoot the three. He wouldn't mind spotting up. Being because LeBron got to have the ball. He can say what he wants about Chris Paul is probably the only point guard that you can bring there that'll get LeBron to get, like you talk about Giannis getting his back to the basket. LeBron shot his back to the basket 10 years ago, but that's another story. But yeah, it's not many people that's going to take the ball out of his hands. And Chris Paul is probably the only one that he would allow that. Or in Lillard, I think he would have let Lillard be Lillard if Lillard came. But
nah, you know what? I don't know. I think it would be hard for LeBron to take the back seat like that.
Well,
I don't know. I don't Dame Dame Lillard comes to LA, bro. You gotta take the back seat.
It's
not about you, LeBron.
2B. I mean, I'm not saying you're 3, you're 2B or 2A, because you and AD got to share. Because number 1 is Dame Lillard.
He's 3, bro. He's 3. Because you're trying to really, well, then
If you're
again,
trying to win, you got to be 3.
yeah, but the thing about AD is, correct me if I'm wrong, him and Dame Lillard work best if you can truly run an inside-out game.
Yeah.
And can you keep AD down on the post long enough to really make that effective?
Yeah.
Or is he gonna?
AD wanna shoot threes too.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not. What's the boy in Golden State? Not
Kevin
Steph.
Durant.
No, not Steph.
Klay Thompson.
Clay. You're not Clay, bro. Chill.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be Clay. You're not gonna be Clay. Just go. Mid-range, cool. Get you back to the basket. Go in the post, bro.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to do that.
No, he doesn't.
So, AD is a 2, but a 1.
Yeah.
He's not a role player. Go stand in the corner and wait for the ball, and he's not gonna run around.
No, not at all. Not at all. So I personally just think that they need to stay away from the big names. And I would even sign Schrader to that money he wants. You got to figure something else out. I wouldn't give Schrader that money either.
I wouldn't give Schrader that money. I wouldn't give Schrader that money.
Not at all.
No, I wouldn't give Schrader that
money.
Not
that good. It's just that simple. He's just not that good.
Yeah, I thought
he's a talented guy, but he don't have no motor. Come on, man.
No, and a lot of ego.
Yeah,
unnecessary
ego. Like, you're not that nice, dude.
No,
he's just not that nice. Sorry.
No.
Wow. And it's interesting when guys get with these good players and you get to see them on a regular basis. Because we didn't get to see that much of Dennis Schrader. He played on Oklahoma City and Atlanta when Atlanta wasn't making the playoffs. He looks good on highlights, right? But then when you get to see him on a regular, Lakers are on 25, 30 times a year on national TV. So you got to see enough of him. You like,
Yeah. It's like, you got to run a system. I don't know if Schrader wants to fit in a system where he wants to be that role player. He said coming into the season, I'm going to be the starting point guard for the LA Lakers.
Yeah.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Like, really?
He ended up being, but he didn't do anything with that starting.
Well, I mean, yeah, but the point guard is everybody knows.
Yeah, it's LeBron.
It's LeBron.
Yeah, everybody knows it's LeBron. I mean, and LeBron can say whatever he wants about he's not the point guard. You're the point guard.
You're the point guard.
Yeah.
We know we can whatever. Shut your trap, Schrader, and just play a role.
Yeah.
And,
well,
but anyway.
we can make our predictions. I mean, for next year, but I'm just a firm believer that we're gonna celebrate Milwaukee until they get eliminated from the playoffs or the regular season. If they don't make the playoffs, they're the champs.
Wow. Let me see. Man, you know what? I'm gonna ride that Brooklyn wave, bro.
Think Brooklyn will get it next year?
I think they'll get it next year.
Durant will clip his toenail, so he'll have
I think there's gonna be so much at stake for all three of those guys that they're gonna figure out how to just calm down and get it right. Like, I'm not really worried about James Harden. I know we had a discussion over the phone about James and being in shape or what have you. I'm not really worried about him. I think that he'll give enough to where KD is going to carry, he's going to be KD. And Kyrie is going to be like, okay, you throwing some extra points, great, but we don't really need your points. You're going to give us the points because you're there, but if you bug out and want to take vacations and drift off or something happens and we lose you on the way, it's not going to really be a big deal because, I think Harden KD is more than enough to win a championship.
Yeah, they are. I think Harden has the most at stake personally because he doesn't have a championship.
No.
So the other two do, even though they want to win because they're together. Yeah. But I think that Harden has, if they don't win next year, I mean, this is how many years he's been in the league?
Well, if they don't win next year, I mean, aside from James Harden, that's gonna put an indictment on KD as well.
Well, it's an indictment, but KD still has championships, right? Even though I heard something real interesting about
yeah, but it's gonna show you that your championships are borrowed.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I was like, it said something about his championships because they said that he hasn't. Well, they brought up a stat that KD hasn't even gotten to out the second round without a bona fide superstar by his side. Because when Westbrook got hurt, he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it by himself. So, and he got bumped in the second round without those two guys getting when they got hurt this year. So now, you know, everybody needs somebody, right?
Yeah.
We got it. But we talking about, do you need somebody or do you need a bona fide superstar with you to win?
Well, I think KD's problem is who he is as a person. Right? Like he's such a how you say like with the whole social media thing, and he's very confrontational. He's very
rabbit ears,
but he's very edgy. He's very, what's the word I'm looking for? He's
not comfortable in his skin. That's what it feels like.
Right, but it seems like it would make everybody around him uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because he's so easily made uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, leadership, getting the chemistry of the team to rally, to do those things that's not really about you putting the ball in the hoop, but making other people go the extra mile. Does he have that?
Yeah.
And
I
you know what I mean? Like, you know, he's got all the talent in the world. Like, you know, in my opinion, skill-wise, he's the best player in the NBA. Skill-wise, he's the best player in the NBA. But I think that his personality, you know, is a reason why we saw what we saw in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You know, we saw how he left Golden State.
Yeah.
And, you know, Brooklyn, we have yet to see, you know, what they're going to manifest. But, you know, I think it's going to be on him to get James going, to get Kyrie to chill, to get role players to play their role and step up when need be. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be up to him because, dude, you're the leader of the team.
Yeah, I agree. I think with him that it always just bothered me that he allowed that Westbrook narrative to be created. Like Westbrook's whole mantra and the narrative they created about Westbrook, a lot of it came from KD. And it's kind of messed up because you never heard Westbrook say anything bad about anybody he played with.
Well, explain that.
Well, when I say that is that, you know, you go back to the 3-1 lead, right? And you guys have the champions on the ropes. You and your boy Russ. I mean, y'all got him on the ropes, right? And you come out in game 5 and you shoot 5 for 20 from the floor in the first half. Kevin Durant. It wasn't Westbrook pounding the ball. It was you going 5 for 20 in the first half, trying to play hero ball, and you took your team out the game. Then Westbrook tried to assist you in the second half, but y'all got too far down and you got too far away from what got you there. I mean, and then you get to game 7 and, you know, you don't win. You lose the chip. And then you go to that team and you say, I can't play with him. So where'd that come from? Because you were up 3-1. Did you not want to play with him when you're up 3-1? So it just, for that purpose alone, and then people just don't like Westbrook. So you add Kevin Durant saying Kevin Durant is calculated. He knows they don't like him. So all he got to do is not say nothing or just say, he said a little something. I can't win that way. And that's what everybody runs with. And they say that now, you know, all you hear is that Westbrook only cares about stats. And I just don't think that's the case. I just think Westbrook's biggest problem is he hasn't been coached. And his personality needs someone that's going to show him how to go around the wall versus going through it. And he's never had that. So that's my only thing with Westbrook and the Durant situation. But you've never heard Westbrook say anything bad about Kevin Durant? No,
that you know, on the court, you see Russell Westbrook. He's like the Tasmanian devil.
Absolutely.
Right.
But he never says anything bad.
Well, every time I see him off the court, he's a gentleman, smiling gentleman. Soft-spoken. He's not the angry.
Nope.
He just plays with a passion and aggressiveness.
He plays with a fury.
Yeah. But off the court, man, he's a total gentleman.
And
so
then
it seems.
I go back to 2011 when they played when LeBron, or 2012 when Miami won their first chip. Westbrook was the best Oklahoma City player on the court. He was the problem the whole series. Durant didn't show up. LeBron and Wade, they played well. Wade was kind of hurt that series. LeBron won the MVP, But Durant didn't step up to the challenge of LeBron. He crawled into a corner. Westbrook was after LeBron. If Oklahoma City would have won that championship, Westbrook would have been the most valuable player because he was the one that couldn't be stopped in that series. James Harden was in Miami celebrating with how he celebrates for a week. He didn't show up at all.
He celebrated before he even started. I was celebrating. I'm getting it in.
He was a 22-year-old in South Beach
club
with a lot of money.
Club Live. I'm all the joints. Come on.
He was a 22-year-old in South Beach with all the money. So that's when they did the 2-3-2. I think Harden was the reason why we don't do 2-3-2 no more. 3 days in Miami was just way too long for him.
Crazy.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my Durant thing with him. So I just kind of be like, I don't like the narrative that he lets continue about his boy Westbrook.
That's crazy. That's unfortunate too. It's just that Kevin Durant gets involved in some of the weirdest controversies for like, dude, you're worth $1 billion. What are you doing? Like, you're not supposed to be giving certain things energy. You're supposed to let that do what you do.
Yeah.
But you don't owe an explanation. Oh, hold on one second.
No, he's a great player. He's the best player, like you said, in the league right now, skill wise. But mentally, just gotta wonder sometimes. But hey, he's making a lot of money, so God bless him. God bless him,
and he's the best player in the NBA. And right now, for me, I'm a LeBron fan, you know that. But right now, it's KD.
Yeah, I mean,
like LeBron is not. I think we've seen, if he does something miraculous, if he averages, 25, 26 points a game, I like to see it. I don't know if we're gonna get that from him again, bro.
I don't know if we are either. I'm not gonna say not. I just don't think that there's gonna be. I always knew Shaq was gonna be a bad look when it was over. Like he wasn't gonna look good no more.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was the ankle, but I don't know if it's gonna look good anymore. Without having that counter that I said he should have had for years. Like you can't just go to the basket like Giannis no more because you don't have the ups like that no more.
You're 37.
And your jumper was never wet. You're a streak shooter, and you're not really a 3-point shooter. You just shoot threes. You don't really have a mid-range game, but you can hit a mid-range shot. But I just always felt like he could dominate until his son came to the league. If he put his back to the basket, he could dominate.
Yeah,
I just say he could dominate if he had a post game.
Yeah, he need to be Karl Malone.
If he had a post game, he could dominate.
You need to be Karl Malone right now.
Elbow jumpers all day, but to think about him passing the ball from the elbow, look what Magic was able to do. From the elbow, just from the elbow alone.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
develop a nice pick and roll game with somebody, and just
he got the perfect partner because AD can shoot the three, so they can. They can still space it out for each other. So it's I don't know how it's gonna look. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think 26 is in the cards, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be horrible. I just don't think we're gonna get spectacular LeBron who could put the cape on and drag the team. That's done. You need somebody else to do that for you.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have about 5 to 7 games in the year where he's gonna look like a superhero, and then. But postseason wise, he'll have about 2 or 3 postseason games where he'll look like a superhero. But I don't think that
night in and night out.
AD got to carry that burden now.
Yeah, and I don't think he can. He missed the glass.
Well, what's Kawhi gonna do? That's what I want to know. What you think he's gonna do?
I don't know. I don't know how healthy Kawhi is even after this surgery. He's got it's the same knee, right? No.
I don't know if it's the same knee.
Yeah, but just you had one knee injury that took you out of San Antonio, and you got this knee injury that sits you down in the middle of the playoffs. You gotta get surgery for that. I'd probably be smart for him just to stay in LA with the Clippers. Just stay there, and be that guy for them, and see if they can build around you. I don't know what Paul George is going to do.
They both have opt-outs, right?
I don't know.
I know Kawhi does. I think Paul George is locked in for another year, but I think Kawhi definitely has an option.
Yeah, I think they should run it back. I think they could do it.
I think
I don't think they're that far away.
They not.
Like I think this year was the competition, it was pretty steep,
Yeah.
Denver didn't lose Jamal Murray. They would have done better in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You got LA with they would have done better in the playoffs, maybe, or at least been more competitive. The East Coast is coming up. New York seems like they're gonna be better next year.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question. What do you think they got in store? Because I think they're close too.
Yeah, I think they're close. I think Randall Randall can't be baby LeBron though.
No, he can't be a one. He's not a one. He's a one for the Knicks. But
One for the Knicks.
He can't be a one.
But even his game is very reminiscent of like how LeBron plays. It's not bully ball. They go down on the post, bro. Develop a mid-range game. Why are you shooting so many threes? Like, what was that one game where he was like 0 for 8 from 3-point land, and like, why are you shooting threes in the playoff? Because
he wasn't a 3-point shooter when he first came into the league. He did have a little bit of a mid-range game. He was still like bully ball, but he had more of a jumper. But then he all these stretch fours that everybody keeps telling you analytics. And I heard another thing today that made me laugh because they said, look at the last two champions. They both shot the 3-ball horribly and they won a championship. The Lakers don't shoot the 3-ball well, and Milwaukee didn't either. And they just had size. The Lakers had size with Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, and Anthony Davis and LeBron. Yeah. And Milwaukee. So
yeah.
Yep.
Hold on, my lighting is a little funny.
Really?
Yeah, it was pixel. It was pixel. Jokes, huh?
I just said you always get one. You slip one in there once in a while.
Yeah. On the sneak, you know what I mean? Light joke.
Every once in a while, you leave a little opening for me,
Got light jokes. I see you. All right. I got you.
I just asked the question. I just said, really? That's it.
No.
Yeah. But
Knicks. So the NBA, the league seems pretty.
The league is in good shape.
Yeah.
The league is in good shape.
Yeah.
So we talked about the NBA, but we have something that happened today or yesterday. And as I know you are an old Cowboy fan, but I think you can appreciate what took 26 years to happen.
What's that?
Jerry Jones got on a mic and said, I effed it up with Jimmy. I messed it up. He finally admitted it. Wow. That was his fault. Wow. Finally, 26 years later, he probably said to himself, what was I thinking of? 26 years later, the alcohol done worn off. And he said 500 coaches could coach his team to a Super Bowl. And he hasn't smelt one in 26 years. And he finally got up on the mic and cleared his chest. Maybe that's a good sign.
That's good for him. It's good for him. I'm not mad at him.
Yeah, I'm not mad either. Like, I'm happy he did it though, because everybody knew what it was. I was just waiting. They were just waiting for you to admit it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We already know who you are. We're waiting for you to understand who you are.
Yeah, and that's big and he needed to before both of them left this planet.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy needs to hear that from you. I messed up.
Yeah, he said I messed it all up.
Yeah, you had a dynasty in the making. Well, you had a dynasty. 3 wins in 4 years is not nothing to laugh at. But Lord, like they could have had a 5-year run.
I mean, people
6-7-year run.
People around the game said the way Jimmy knew talent and the way he hooked his system up, and he understood the cap. They said they would have ran the table for years to come if Jerry would have just left it alone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Belichick will tell you that they're accurate, right? Because he been with Robert Kraft for 20 years, and they've been to Super Bowl 10 times and won 7 of them.
Yeah.
And so, he might not like. I'm sure they don't always get along, but Bob Kraft ain't messing up a good thing.
No. Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
JT says, now tell Des Bryant, sorry. I gotta disagree with you, bro. I think Des Bryant was at the end of his run. He had some horrible injuries, and he really didn't look good. His last couple years, he was not right, bro. He was just a stretch guy. Go deep, go run. He wasn't a good route runner. Never a good route runner.
Never.
He was good. He was go deep. Once you start losing steps, bro, it's a wrap. The league just gets younger. It don't get older. It get younger.
He couldn't do nothing when they got Dak. He couldn't conform because he didn't know how to run routes.
Mm-hmm.
So that was basically why he was showing the door, and he knew it. So Dez's his counter to that is to get ill with it, and that got him out. That got him kicked out of Dallas.
Yeah,
that was his counter. So I love Dez, but he had a lot of holes in his game.
He said, "Nah, he's super athletic, just a diva." He definitely super athletic, but he comes to a point where your athleticism diminishes as you get older. It just does. These new cats coming into the league at 20, 21, 22 years old with fresh out of college or no injuries. It's just their upside is there. Dez is like, what he's gonna give you, what he's not gonna give you. It's like, okay, where are we going with this? At this, we got to do something new. Yeah. Jay, I grew up a Dallas Cowboy fan, bro. But after Jerry showed his behind with this Colin Kaepernick situation and hugged up on Donald Trump like he did, I had to let the Cowboys go. Yeah, he said, you see Terrell Owens, what, recently or when he finished his career not winning a Super Bowl? I mean,
I struggle being a Cowboy fan, so I keep you posted. I let you know what's going on, but it's hard work being a Cowboy fan.
Yeah, man, it's hard work being a fan of the NFL. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
we do the sports show, so I gotta stay committed to taking it in and watching football and keeping up. However, after again they showed their ass collectively as a league, the ownership, I'm saying, and the league office, how they handled the Kaepernick situation, how they really turned their backs on their black athletes and their black fan base with what we see publicly going down with police killings and so forth. For them to take the stance and position they did showed me how they feel about us. So it was like, okay, if someone tells you, how they feel, and there it is. And I was like, take the Dallas Cowboys stuff off and let me fall back. But football as a sport, as a sport itself is just so ingrained in me and us as Americans that it's kind of hard not to get involved, get into it.
No, I agree. I think, like I said, it's hard. I turned it off for a pretty good portion of one season, and I don't know how I got back in, but I just watched a playoff game and it just turned into continuing to watch again. But you're absolutely right about everything you said about the NFL. I mean, it's like that. The NBA is the only sport that's really not like that. They don't have no choice. And that's what makes the NFL so sad, because they got a high demographic rate of black folks too. So it's like, wow, really? So, and whether Major League Baseball want to admit it or not, the reason that they don't get the ratings they get is because we don't play. So because we aren't in the game. And I'm a big Yankee dude. And they called a brother up just recently, and his brother's balling. And he gonna go back to the minors, but they're gonna still let this 38-year-old dude that's washed up continue to get at bats. And when cats get healthy, you got to put him on the bench, man, and keep this young boy up. That's what they got to do. But if they don't get the same treatment, it's clear in baseball, man. It's just clear. They got short leashes, man.
Yeah.
Short
it's like talking about critical race theory.
Yep.
Which is something that's only taught in law school, like only a couple law schools.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a class, it's not
No.
a curriculum.
No,
it's
it's not.
just a theory that people use to analyze systemic racism.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, when you look at these different sports leagues.
I found this on the web for that people use to analyze.
She wanted to tell you Siri was ready to go.
She listening. When we see these different sports leagues and how they deal with our people and the cultural differences that exist, the communication, the differences in communication, the differences in networking, the differences in, you know, when you look at the NFL, which is primarily African American,
Yep.
NBA, same thing, and you look at the league offices and you look at coaching, and it's, you know, it's white boys who basically they keep these jobs like this. It's nepotism. It's you know, keep it in the family. Literally, it's handing jobs to sons and brothers and nephews, and like that's what it literally is. It's a tight circle of people who run this show, and they decide who comes in and out. And of course, if you're African American, Black, colored, Negro, whatever, you know, you have to basically debase yourself to get into these circles because you're an outsider. So you have to be an insider by going, listen, I'm not one of them. I'm different.
Yep.
You see a Mike Tomlin,
Yep,
who criticized the league for their record in hiring African American coaches.
Yep.
And then somebody says, "But brother, you ain't got no African American coaches on your staff."
Yeah.
Because Mike Tomlin probably has to prove to his white hire ownership.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't gonna bring too many of us up in here.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
It's a sad state of affairs, bro. It's like, you know,
It's real sad. Think about this. Think about the Timberwolves when Garnett got drafted. They were worth $89 million. By the time he left 12 years later, they were worth $1.3 billion. So, does Garnett get any of that money?
No.
But did he help build that franchise?
Absolutely.
Did he have pretty much everything to do with taking it from 89 to 1.2 billion?
Everything to do with
everything to do with it. So people don't understand that dynamic alone. Like, you know, it's not just inflation and a good investment. No, you need the name on the back to get you that money. Not the name on the front. You need the name on the back to get you that, to take you over the top. The reason that the Lakers are a $5 billion franchise or a $6 billion franchise is because you go from Jerry West to Wilt Chamberlain to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to Magic Johnson to James Worthy to Kobe to Shaq to AD to LeBron. They keep billion-dollar property on the premises.
That's right. That's right.
That's the bottom line.
That's right. And
billion-dollar property on the premises.
Yeah, their major resource is human resource.
Yeah,
it's human resource. It's the basketball players, and not just the skill, but the reputation that these players built their entire lives. Their brand. These ball players have been playing since elementary school.
Yeah, their brand is huge.
Huge before getting to the NBA. Now, NBA, of course, is the biggest platform.
Yeah.
But the NBA is allowed to stay the biggest platform by steadily funneling this resource through.
Yep.
And then it's like, how do we as a people, as a community, protect our resource or leverage our connections to this resource so we can keep it, everything on the up and up. And that's something that we have to figure out, in spite of all the obstacles that, the old boys club will put in play.
Absolutely.
Now I'm glad we segued over to football.
Yep.
Because our guest just popped in the building. Big shout out to Brevin Knight. He's been texting me the whole time. He threw his back out. I told you earlier. I told him we'd reschedule. Now that he didn't make it this week, perhaps we can get him and Brandon on next week.
Yeah.
But our guest is formally recruited to the University of West Virginia. Mountaineers, you know what I mean? And it's my nephew, his family, Mumu Ben WAHAD. But before we bring him on, real quick, I just want to give our audience a sneak peek of what the young brother has to, provide for the University of West Virginia, coming out of Grayson High School in Georgia.
Shit deeper than rap, shit deeper than trap. I ain't never out track, but I ain't running no laps. Got my first roll, feel like I graduated. Had me feeling like a goose, somehow we bad and made it. I pour a hot tip, red, green, had me aggravated. I can make them disappear, no magic like I'm trading. They got that hand, we got that hand too. What you gonna do when we find you? Like nigga.
Bro, so this is Mumu bin WAHAD, who is the son of my mentor, Daruba bin WAHAD. Now, Daruba bin WAHAD, formerly incarcerated Black Panther Party from the 70s, co-founder of the Black Liberation Army. Like Brevin talked about him, Brandon talked about him, TJ talked about how Daruba was one of our major inspirations in activism and our consciousness. So to see his son do the things that he's doing, like, I'm beyond thrilled that the young brothers agreed to come on our show. And with no further ado, Mumu bin WAHAD. What up, bro?
How you doing, Aunt? What's good?
It's good, man. It's good. Chilling, bro. IZM Sports in the building. Thank you for hopping on with us. I got my co-host,
going on?
Wes Henderson.
There you go. What's going on, man?
I'm good. Everything's good. How about you?
Doing well.
Man. So, brother, before we, get into the present and the future, why don't you talk about your past? Talk about who you are, right? And what inspired you to play the game of football? How'd you get involved in football?
Well, y'all know my pops. He as much as he an activist, a people person, a mover, a man. He also, he's also a great father, and he a huge football fan. So, growing up in the house with him, watching ball every Saturday, every Sunday, it just gave me a dream that I felt like I wouldn't feel satisfied until I reached my dream. So that's what got me here.
Wow, and I've been watching you throughout the years. Every once in a while, I get to see you, whether it was in Jersey or Georgia, and we watching games. We talking about what's happening, or you coming from a game, going to a game.
Right.
So talk about some of your early coaches, and I guess Pop Warner, your Pop Warner experience.
Yeah. I still remember my first ever football coach, Coach Caldwell, Jason Caldwell. Shout out Coach Caldwell on here. I appreciate you. It's the one that really taught me like the fundamentals of the game. Believe it or not, I used to play D-line when I was younger.
What?
Yeah, so I was small.
And you was a small dude. You must have been hitting jokers, laying that wood, huh?
Yeah, I'm saying I was quick. When you quick, them big guys don't know what to do with you. So, and he taught me, the basics of, just football, the fundamentals, just reading holes, just everything that I carry me today that carried me to, to where I'm at.
Yeah. Now, was that in Jersey?
That was here in Georgia.
That was there in Georgia. Yeah. Like, because, seeing your high school career is kind of, an exciting thing to do, bro. Can you talk about the high school you played for, and some of the records that you guys set? Talk about some of your accolades and your accomplishments in high school.
Well, I'm a All-State DB, All-American, which is a pretty big deal to me. I don't take first team at that, so that's a big deal and stuff. I won a state championship last year as a junior. Started all 16 games, and arguably one of the hardest regions in the country. So,
nice.
That right there, listen, it's all, like I said, it's all the one up above. Nothing's possible without him. So,
that's right. That's right. Nothing's impossible without him, and you also got your mom. You know what I mean? Your mom is a great woman there.
She is. She really is, and she, she the one that tells me no matter how hard it is, you got to get it done. And so it's just to the point as I got older, that didn't even need to be said. I was just getting after it. So I can't enough. I'm really blessed to have such great parents. Such a great support system. So that's why.
Nice. Now are you in West Virginia now?
I'm not actually. I'm at the house right now.
Okay.
Just enjoying a little time.
And this is gonna be your freshman year, right?
Yes, sir. It will be.
Okay.
Yeah. So talk about. Oh, go ahead. Well,
I was going to ask him how that college recruitment visit was. Like, how was that whole process in being recruited by colleges?
It's a lot of people say it's a blessing, like in disguise, because you don't really see it till after. Because towards the end, it gets so stressful when a lot of schools coming down on you or whatnot. Because I had 30 scholarship offers, and so first I had to narrow it down just those 10 schools that I really like or whatnot, and then that's when I really my top 10 schools. I want to say in February. February, I released my top 10 schools, and I just narrowed it down from there. And it could have went a lot of ways, but I just felt like I made the best decision going to West Virginia.
Okay, what was that? What was behind that decision? Like, I'm curious. What was maybe just give me 3 other schools that you got it narrowed down to, and what made West Virginia win out?
You said if I had to narrow it down between.
I said you had 3 schools. You had 3 schools left, not 10, because that's a lot. And West Virginia won out. So what made them different from the other, say, 2 that you didn't pick?
Really just the coaches and like the tradition of the school. I just feel like, they got a tradition of NFL pedigree players, and that's something that I really want to be a part of. And another thing is just like how everybody that goes there, everybody that's an alum or whatnot, they're just family, and they treat each other like family. And that's one thing that I really wanted to be a part of, was that brotherhood, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah. We had a guest on earlier in the year, Will Kukaldi, who also went to West Virginia. He was a basketball player. He actually lost his legs in a car accident his freshman or sophomore year. His sophomore year at West Virginia. But he also talked about, the school itself, the administration. He had gone through some challenges in high school, in between high school and college, and how they really stuck behind him, and their alumni were solid people, the coaching staffs, it's different basketball and different time, of course, but it seems to be a thing with West Virginia. It's a very good place to be for African-American athletes.
No question. And that's one thing that I really noticed, like just the community, everything is tied into one, and and they're all backing, the football team and the athletes, and they want what's best for them. And a lot of people see West Virginia, they hear West Virginia, and they just think like a country, it's country or whatnot. But when you actually get up there, you'll see it's really open. It's a college town, and it's real beautiful. So nice. Another reason why I made my decision to go to college there. I just felt comfortable there.
Now, how was it balancing athletics and academics? I was athletic. I wasn't really an athlete. I played, but I was serious. You know what I mean? That's a different world when you're serious about football, especially. That's like a full-time job, bro. That's a commitment, and then having to balance what's really important, which is the academics, because that's going to help you maintain your success in the long run.
Right. Well. I would say you have to have a regimen. You have to stick to it, and you can't let nothing really throw you off of it. Like, I know for me, I wake up my feet hit the ground off my bed at 6 a.m. every morning, Monday through Friday, and I have a strict regimen that I go through that I follow, and that allows me, stay on track or whatnot. And when school comes, I have the school flow, and so that's just how I stay on top of all that, and I don't let it, because it can get overwhelming real fast, real fast. And as I got older, I'm a senior now. As I got older, I just learned it's gonna get overwhelming fast. You got to get on top of it early. Just lock in what you got to do.
Like, have you decided a major? Or are you going to wait a couple of years?
Economics.
Woo! Get that money, boy. Yeah. Get it. I'm saying. Let me hold something.
And I think that honestly, one of the reasons why I chose to do that is because if you have an economics degree, the NFL says that you can manage your own funds or whatnot. You don't need anybody to manage them for you or consolidate them for you. So that's one thing that I really look for. I like to keep everything in the family, as you know, as you see me on here. Keep everything within the family. So that's one thing I'm real heavy on.
And when your career is over, you can manage other players' money because
absolutely,
right.
You know, you can build your business around you, and then share the This is how that's how I did it. Let me share with you for a fee.
Yeah, this pretty. And econ is a real it's a real broad real broad field. So you know, I could get into just about anything as an econ major.
Yeah, nice. Now that was a dope segue. I had no idea you were majoring in economics, but the reason why I thought it was important to have you on the show was with this new rule change where amateur athletes can now make money off their name and likeness. Is a good look. Some people say, other people say it can be a bad look. And we wanted to get, some insight from someone who's going through the experience right now. And again, you having that major in economics or, working toward that major in economics, you're already looking at your brand, your name in a certain way. It's official, brother. So, what do you think about these new rule changes, and how do you think they can expand it, or should they minimize? There's too much responsibility for amateur athletes. So, what's your feel on it, Moo?
Well, I feel like guys, in a locker room or whatnot, they're might be divided because someone might be making more bread than the next guy or whatnot. But I feel like at the end of the day, it's gonna make the work just make guys work harder. And, and guys that is, getting those big deals is going to keep them, their eyes on the prize, so to speak. Because I know for a fact that, like, a lot of people, like a lot of college players, they'll go out there and let's say I play corner, they'll go out there and catch 2 picks on Saturdays. They used to go back to their room and they ain't nothing to eat. And it's just, stuff like that. Like, it really don't add up. Like, I had hundreds of thousands of people coming to watch me and I can't even get no food in my stomach. So I feel like that NIL deal is a pretty big deal. It's going to benefit a lot of athletes in the long run. It's going to benefit the game because, now folks could be real open. Oh, my favorite player, so-and-so on this team. Let me get his jersey. Hey, can I get your autograph? Instead of all these rules to where, he can't sign his jersey and he can't give him $10 or it's an NCAA violation. You know what I mean? I just felt like all that stuff was really out of hand, seeing the fact that the players is what make everything run, So,
we were just talking about that right before you got on the line. I was just telling Hakeem how Kevin Garnett, when he signed with the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Timberwolves were worth $89 million. And by the time he left 12 years later, they were worth $1.2 billion.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And that's no coincidence that was during his time.
Right.
No
question.
The name on the back is just as important as the name on the front.
Right. Exactly. And, if I'm bringing in X amount for my school, I ain't really sitting here and saying, oh, well, I want to cut of this. I'm just saying, let me make money off my name. If I catch a pick six and the kid want my autograph for $100, I think that's fair. I feel like I shouldn't have to be penalized for that.
I think that's more than fair. Who was the player from Ohio State when it was a big scandal because he's gave his jersey, he sold his jersey to a barber?
Braxton Miller, was it?
Yeah, I think
it was Braxton Miller, but it was also the quarterback who
he was the quarterback.
Yeah.
It was a quarterback, no, but it was somebody. No, it was somebody else. It was who's the boy who played quarterback and they put him at wide receiver when he got to the pros?
That was Braxton Miller.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. They put him at wide receiver. He was a wide receiver for the Texans, but he was a quarterback at Ohio State.
Ohio State. Yeah. Anyway, so the idea that something that belongs to you, it's your football jersey, it's your jersey, it's your possession. Right. And I can't sell my possession. That's the Terrell Pryor. Thank you. That's the name I was looking for. That's the name I was looking for. Thank you, JT. I thought it was
Braxton Miller too.
Yeah, maybe both of them.
They did. Well, they both did.
Yeah,
they both did switch in the NFL.
Yeah.
But you 100% right, Uncle. I feel like it's just the base level of compensation that athletes should have on all levels. You know, it's just the base level. If you're going out there and you're gonna perform for a bunch of folks, they're not watching an empty field. They watching you out there balling. So I feel like it's the least you could do is let me get money off my name, my image, and my likeness. You know, for things that I put out there on the field, I work hard for every day.
Yeah, it's like I can't think of any other profession outside of sports where that's done. A person is penalized for money they made prior to being the professional. In that, like, how do you get? You're no longer an amateur, so we're gonna penalize you. Like, you making. I'm not an amateur because there's TV deals in place. That's like, and no one's an amateur at that point. If there's this $1 billion TV deals in place, yeah, we all making money. We just not getting. Somebody's making the money.
Everybody. Yeah, somebody getting paid for them ticket sales, and all that revenue or whatnot. And I feel like the athlete should be one of those people that has money going into their pockets, and not the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, the coaches cash in. They cash
now,
in.
Everybody do.
Now, not that you have to share it here because I don't want to give away any of your ideas, But have you thought of some maybe ways you could immediately start making money off your name?
Yeah, I had some stuff going and stuff in the works, with the whole state of Georgia as far as the high school athletes going. Technically, for another 6 months, I'm still a Georgia high school athlete. So with all the stuff they got going on, I technically can't make no money off my name until I sign that dotted line in December.
Wow.
So I feel like I'm really just structuring stuff and getting stuff in the woodworks ready for that December 15th date, so I can go ahead and get all that stuff done as soon as I sign. So I got a lot of stuff working right now.
So let me be clear. You technically have you got one more season. You're a junior going to be a senior. Or you just left your junior year?
I just left my junior. I'm about to be a senior this upcoming season when the season starts.
Wow. And what do you guys rank nationally right now?
Number 8 in the country right now. Number 1 in the state.
Man, that's crazy.
And what part of Georgia is that again?
Grayson, Georgia, Grayson High School in Loganville.
Loganville, okay.
So it's like north of Atlanta.
Say it again.
It's just north of Atlanta.
Oh, north of Atlanta. Okay, got you.
Right. So that train out, that workout regimen we showed real quick before we brought you on. Where was that? Where was that shot?
Oh, you want workout regimen like from morning to time I go to sleep?
No. The video clip that we played right before you came on, I snatched it from your IG. Yeah. Where was that shot?
You said where was the shot?
Yeah, where was that video that taped?
It was shot at the lab. It's a facility called the Lab in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And we shot there. So that's my guy, Donnie Lee Jr. If anybody's in Alabama and you want the best trainer in the state, tap in with him. I train with him as much as I can. A lot of speed stuff. He got me way faster this offseason.
Man.
So that's something I really look forward to. I try to get out there at least every other week in the offseason.
What was your 40 time before you went to him?
Before I went to him, I was running mid 460s. After I went to him, I clocked 449 like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Nice.
Not bad.
Nice.
So let me ask you this question: How you gonna go train in Alabama and Nick Saban let you get out of Alabama?
Hey, you gotta ask him. I've been getting calls here and there, but it's not nothing that I'm really worried about. I'm really locked in with my school.
Oh yeah, I just was curious. Yeah.
Nice. That's it's amazing to see where you're at right now, bro. Because, like I said, I played football in high school, and we were not serious. We were not serious. Like our whole team was just not serious.
Right.
Yeah, we could have been serious. Me, even if I was serious, it wasn't gonna help out too much. But I'd hit you. It's just I weighed 100. I weighed 137 pounds. So, but I would hit you. I was 130. Yo, I played defensive end at 137 pounds. That was my dude. Grossberger.
Speedster.
We had a guard speed. What's that?
He said, "What's that?"
I I had a whole, but I played I played defensive end my sophomore year, and my junior senior year I played cornerback safety. I was a decent safety, decent. I'd hit you, I'd come up, whatever. I was decent, but I played out, never got burnt because I was so far back. You can't burn. You're not going. I'm not going to the corner though. Corners would have been rough for me.
He said,
So, but to see you training, wow, it's like that now in high school. Whoa,
hey,
it's another level, man.
It's another level, bro.
Hey, I just feel like, I feel like, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like it's not a lot of kids built like me, honestly, that will, say I'm gonna just sacrifice my time, to this game. My time, basically my life to this game, if we're being honest. Everything I do every day is football. So I don't think there's a lot of folks that have that type of level of commitment at my age. That's right. But I feel then again, that's what makes me special,
And you are.
That's what separates me from the pack.
Absolutely, man. And to embrace that and to be comfortable in that space is a beautiful thing, man. Happy for you.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. So West Virginia is on your horizon. That's coming up pretty soon.
Right.
You're gonna smash out. And in a perfect world, how does it go from there?
In a perfect world, I sign, get up there in January. I do what I got to do. And next season coming up, I'm a freshman All-American. That's in the perfect world. That's what I'm working towards. That's like the number one thing on my board right now is I got to be a freshman All-American this time next year. So I'm just working towards it.
Dude, my man.
That's the goal. And then I'm trying to win the Big 12 as well. Big 12 champion. Definitely for my sophomore year. I'm gonna give myself 2 years. That's a pretty big goal. But before my sophomore year, I gotta have a Big 12 championship under my belt. And then we're going for the Natty after that. That's the big goal.
Nice, man. Well, look, bro. Wes, you got any questions?
No, I'm good, man.
You good?
Beautiful thing, man. Beautiful thing.
Yeah, man. It's just so good to see what you're doing, that you focus, you dedicated, and I know your parents are extremely proud of you. We all are. And I'm excited to see what the future has in store, bro. Anytime you want to come on, Matt. Yeah, man. Anytime you want to come on IZM Sports, you're welcome, bro. You just let us know, and it's done deal. And
for real. I had a blast on here with y'all tonight. For real, I love chopping it up.
Nice. And we got to get out to Grayson. Maybe we can get some live footage on our stream.
Y'all
one of the games. Yeah.
Y'all always look. I'm gonna make sure that.
Nice. Yo, man. Well, again, Moo, man, thank you for hopping on, man. We appreciate you. And we're gonna be checking for you all year, bro.
Absolutely. You're on my docket now. That's it.
That's it.
Hey, Uncle Hog, I appreciate y'all having me, man. For real.
Yes, sir. Yo, man. Salute.
Hey, salute. Peace.
Have a good one.
Peace. Tell Saif I said peace. Saif is his brother.
Okay.
His younger brother, Saif.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
man.
good stuff, man.
Bro, it's amazing to see him, man, because, I've been watching him since he was, a few years old, He's got
a heck of a head on his shoulders, man. And, I just wish him nothing but the best because they did a heck of a job with that one right there.
Dude, and, his dad, Daruba Ben WAHAD, former Black Panther, co-founder of the Black Liberation Army, locked up for 19 and a half years, 7 in solitary confinement.
Yep.
His release opened the door for the public, the state acknowledgement of COINTELPRO.
Yeah.
His lawyers are the ones who, found all this documentation that pointed to a direct concerted effort by the FBI to entrap Black Panthers. And he was released because of that. After 19 and a half years, he was framed, wrongfully incarcerated, released. He ended up suing the New York State penal system. And he's, back in the activist world, really laying it down. The brother's almost 80 years old. We're gonna have him on IZM Sports. I've had him on IZM TV a couple times, but man, he's a firebrand, and to see his son Mumu about to do this thing big is like, man, it's like, again, the Kaepernick thing, like it's a direct link for me.
Got you.
Because Dhoruba is politically in action what Kaepernick stood up for. Dhoruba is that in action.
Yeah.
Historically, like you go to the history books and read about him in the Black Panther. You see pictures of Tupac's mom. Dhoruba is right there. Like it's that, and that's his son who's about to be next level, bro. Man, it's amazing. So it was dope having him on IZM Sports.
Absolutely,
man.
That's a good look right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So next generation, you know, you got a future WNBA ball player out there shooting hoops right now. You know, you got my niece running around here. Hopefully, she can do her thing, and IZM Sports next generation.
Yeah, absolutely. They can keep it going.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, yeah, man. So this show has been short and sweet.
Yep.
Got to chop it up about the NBA Finals, which was most important.
Yep.
We had Mumu on.
Yep.
Big shout out,
great. Loved
big shout out to Brevin. You know, we're gonna
Yep.
catch him hopefully next week, him and Brandon. And yeah, man, you know, keep it going. JT, thanks for checking in. Everybody in the building who signed on, appreciate y'all. And we're gonna get with y'all next week, Thursday. IZM Sports. Peace, fam.
We out.